The cost-benefit analysis of supported housing is an absolute no-brainer. So my name's Olaf Nielsen. I'm a psychiatrist, one of the founders and the chair of Habilis Housing. Well, no, I've got a bit of an expertise in schizophrenia. That's been the main focus of my work. Gavin Andrews used to say you could hardly design a worse illness because it sort of robs you of yourself. But really the disability for schizophrenia is in the loss of decision-making and the loss of initiative and the lack of self-care. The homeless, severely mentally ill generate the most staggering health costs. Like if you put aside the moral argument that a society like Australia, one of the richest societies in history, should be able to house this very finite and small number of disabled people, the cost of caring for them is enormous. So a general hospital bed, $2,000 a night, psych hospital bed, $1,200 a night, prison bed, $300 a night. They generate costs that are way in excess of the cost of providing supported housing. You provide supported housing, all those other costs go away. Habilis is a home for people who have been homeless because of severe and disabling mental illness. It's a permanent housing within a cluster with support services, an on-site caretaker, an on-site clinic to ensure continuing treatment with medication.
My name's Linda and I'm the manager here at Habilis, and I really enjoy the residents. I get a lot from them. They're all very different, and I'm realising just how individual a disease schizophrenia is. As I develop a relationship with them, every morning we have a coffee and a chat and plan the day, and that's a really good informal way of getting to know them and developing therapeutic relationships with them. And then, from that they can then develop their own independence, and that's very satisfying to see that happen.
My name's Luke Briscoe. I was the first resident at Habilis. I've had a 20-year mental health history, and I found myself needing a home, and this great place came along. I like the rules. There is no drugs, no alcohol. You take your medication, and that suits me great. I've got a great studio apartment, my own bathroom, kitchenette, lounge room and veranda, and it's a little community. Everyone that I've met here has been a good person. We're just this little community. It meets all my needs and requirements. The staff here are great. If you ever have a problem or anything, you can go and see them. All the people here have needed this place for quite some time, I dare say.
There's a real developing sense of community, and it's very much people's home. Some of them have previously lived incredibly isolated existences in Department of Housing or boarding houses, and here they're not alone. And I think for most of them, they would consider this their family.
I've been in and out of mental health wards for the last 4 or 5 years with schizophrenia, so it's been pretty difficult to find accommodation. And really, before I got the opportunity to stay here, no one was really prepared to give me a chance. I'm really so pleased to be able to stay here. It's really nice. You've got your own ensuite bathroom, you've got air conditioning, which is great, and everyone's just really friendly, which is really cool. Linda's very helpful with support and comes and checks to see if we've got everything that we need, and if we're missing even anything in the slightest, she's always there to help. It's just beautiful. The gardens are quite nice. They're all really well-maintained gardens as well. And then I like to sit out in the sun over there on the table and chairs and just have a cup of coffee in the morning.
It's a treatment in itself. I've said over and again that housing's the most efficient form of welfare, and housing is also a treatment for people with a mental condition. We've got about 2,500 to 3,000 rough sleepers in the state of New South Wales, and about a third of them are in the inner city. But at least a third of those have schizophrenia of some kind. Ultimately, it's the government's responsibility, really, but it's very much in the government's interest, because they're the ones who are having to pay the extremely high health and institutional costs. Well, firstly, in the year prior to coming to Habilis, our first 6 residents, I calculated, had generated $1.5 million in institutional care in the previous 12 months. The cost of being in a psychiatric ward for 18 months is more than $400,000 per annum, whereas our total cost ex capital is well under 40,000 per annum. One guy was sleeping in Hyde Park when he wasn't in jail, and it's just transformed him. And he doesn't look like he will go back to institutional care. And that's the goal, is to stay indefinitely and to never go back to hospital.
Yeah, it's a big step up from living in a sleeping bag in a tent on the beach to come here. It's a wonderful experience.